An EQAO question from grade 6, and this one is focused on division. So we kind of give away how we're going to solve it. We're going to talk about this question, and we put a chart here, and we'll talk about that. So Enrico pours 60 liters of water into 300 milliliter cups. If he fills the cups completely, how many cups does he fill? Okay, so we have our two types of containers here. I have a 60 liter container, and then this one is a 300 milliliter cup. Okay, so we go on the assumption that this one is full. Okay, so it's all full of water here, and we're going to be taking water out of this large container, and then we're going to be putting them into these tiny cups. Now, division, or what we're going to do, is technically only types of subtraction. Think of it like I'm taking an amount out and putting into this cup, and every time I do this, this one drops by a little and then drops by a little more. So we're trying to figure out how many times is it going to drop until there's absolutely nothing left. Our major problem to start, though, is our units. What's this one measured in?
Liters.
And this one?
Milliliters.
Are they the same?
No.
No. Okay, so that's where this very confusing chart on the side comes in. Okay, this is a chart that talks about, and these are called prefixes, and they help us with our volume measurement. Okay, so we're working in liters. Okay, so this is where the liter would fall, and this is where if we'd have the number 1. Okay, these are all prefixes to help us figure out what we would either have to multiply by or divide by to convert things. Okay. Now, some of these you remember, if you've seen computers, there's like kilobytes and megabytes and gigabytes and terabytes and petabytes, and they don't really talk about much after. And then you have like your centa and milliliters, and then microchips and pico and femtosecond. There's all kinds of really small things the other way around. Okay. So not all of this is important for what we need to do. There's only really 2 that are important: the liter, right? And that's what we're working with, and the milliliter. So we have to make our conversion with here. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. What you normally do to do this, normally when we go down this chart, it's actually division. So I would take the, it depends which I want to convert into which. Would you like to convert liters into milliliters, or would you like to convert milliliters into liters?
Liters into milliliters.
Okay, so we're going to convert liters, and since we have 60 of them, we're going to convert our 60 liters, okay, which fall at that part of the chart, and we're going to convert them into the milliliters. Now, there's 2 operations we can use. We can either, you see this number here, 0.001, we can take 60 and divide it by 0.001, or I can take 60 and I can multiply it by 1,000. And I'm going to show you how they both give you the same answer. It's kind of odd that you can divide or multiply and still get the same answer. So we do 60 divided by 0.001, and we get, that's 60,000. Or we take 60 times 1,000, okay, and that gives us 60,000. And the main reason these are the same is because this is the tens, hundreds, thousandths place of the decimal, which is the same as multiplying by 1,000. So it doesn't really matter. So now that we know that this 60 liters is actually the equivalent of 60,000 milliliters. So now we're in the exact same units. That's good. We have the same units, so we can start to figure this out. Well, we could continuously subtract. We could take 60,000 and go 1 cup at a time, subtract 300. And that would give us 59,700. And then we would subtract again. How long do you think this is going to take us?
A long time.
A very, very long time. So instead of continuously doing this subtraction, okay, we can do division. And that'll tell us how many times or how many cups we're going to need. So we're going to try to figure out how many times, this is our 60,000, we're going to try to figure out how many times 300 goes into our 60,000, okay? So one way to make this a little easier when we're dividing is we can actually eliminate zeros from both, okay? So if I eliminate a 0 out here, I can eliminate a 0 in here.
And add the zeros after.
Yeah. And I can eliminate this 0 here and this 0 here. So now my question really reads, how many times does 3 go into, well, 600? Well, that's probably, at least it looks less intimidating, right? So we know our long division. How many times does 3 go into 6?
2.
That's right, 2 times. So on the side, we do our little multiplication. 2 times 3 gives us 6. So we now know that we're going to subtract by 6. What's 6? Subtract 6?
0.
0. Bring this down. We got 0. How many times does 3 go into 0?
0 times.
Okay, so that didn't work. Down here,
0 times.
0 times. Any remainders?
No.
No, no remainders, right? And we could have just subtracted by 0, 0 if we wanted, and we still ended up with 0. So it looks like, for our answer, how many cups are we going to fill?
We are going to
So that's
fill
right here.
200 cups.
We're going to fill 200 cups. Okay, so we'll fill 200 cups. If there is 60 liters in this large jug, and each cup holds 300 milliliters. That's a lot of cups. Imagine we subtracted 200 times. This video would be like 2 hours long if we were to do it. Much faster if we use the division.